Hello everyone and welcome. This is the Silent K and today we're playing MekHQ. Welcome Varank, welcome Mr. McGorilla. It's 9 a.m. here, how's things? So we're gonna be starting off with some repairs from last week. Oh, it's 6 p.m. Where you are? Oh, that's right, yeah, I know where you are. So last week we did the defend grounded dropship mission, which ended up with, I want to say, some salvage. Some people defected, and then we had, where did it go? Yeah, somewhere on here it says we triggered a new scenario, convoy attack, and we did that by exploring on the campaign state tab. Yeah. So apparently it's morning where Mr. McGorilla is, and yeah, the rank is practically next door compared to that. So we did convince at least one person to defect, looks like. Yeah. We did recover all of our mechs. Oh yeah. So yeah, we did 2 missions. There was some weirdness with Yarvik's mech in the TONE. He's currently listed as Vernita Formosa on this side, although his stats do retain here. And curiously, he is not on the list of mech warriors unless, and I found this out last week, where is that mech? It was an archer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So we're going to assign person, we're going to unassign crew, and that causes, or at least it did cause, let me get these guys into order again. Yarvik. There he is. Yeah, when he's not assigned to the mech, he shows up on here, but as soon as we assign him to, it was the archer, he disappears off the list. So, oh, you're not getting any audio. I'm showing it should be coming through on my end. Varank, are you getting sound at all? Or is it just McGorilla that's not getting sound? I don't know. Okay, you restarted Twitch and it's fine now? Okay. Okay, well, I'm glad. Yeah, I was just talking about how Yarvik disappears off of the list of mech warriors as soon as I assign him to that mech. He is assigned to the mech, even though here it says Vernita is. It also says Vernita is assigned to the Wolverine, which she actually is. And in the TONE, they're both listed as Vernita, except over here. So things are kind of wonky concerning Yarvik. And I think it might have something to do with a null exception of some kind that happened previously, but it may also have been caused by just the sheer number of versions of MegaMek that we've legacied through. Let's see, all the people who need to be are in the infirmary assigned to care. We do have some repairs to be doing. I did off-screen go ahead and move everyone into transport bay just to simplify things. And I did also order 10 tons of standard, or 10 lots of 5 tons, so 50 tons of standard armor. And that'll start being rolled for on the next day. But in the meantime, we do have enough armor that we can start doing some of these repairs. Long Tom is lower priority, the Stalker is kind of higher priority. And I wanted Chris to start doing all the little jobs so that she can hurry up and get that 7 XP that she needs. I think little job is going to be medium laser or smaller, and we need SRM6 ammo. Oh, okay, we have SRM6 ammo in transit. All right, so medium laser and smaller. That's going to be 5 points, 25 minutes, and just trying to just go through this as quickly as possible, because I know it can get a little tedious. I know that there is a mass repair button up here, but I'm not a fan of it. I don't like that it doesn't let me control specifically which mech does which jobs. Down to 6 XP needed. Slowly but surely, she is becoming a better tech. It's not that I'm a control freak. It's not that I have to be in control of every situation. It's that I'm just anal and perfectionist about certain things. And also, I'm really looking forward to getting an elite tech, finally, after however long we've been running this game, with just veteran techs. Ratnabala was our ammo tech. We can go ahead and actually have her go ahead and go through all of these. Oh, Chris is down to 5 minutes left. I don't know if there's going to be any 5-minute jobs for her. Yeah. If you think I'm being a control freak, I guess I'm not one to argue the point. I'm not gonna say that you're wrong necessarily, because I mean, I feel like self-diagnosis is something that the human brain is not very good for. Give her a 5-minute coffee break. Yeah, we can do that. She's been busy. She's down to 5 XP from elite. She could use a coffee break. Alright, on a 3, yeah, we can do a 3. And we are basically out of armor. We're down to... How is a 6-point armor fix only 25 minutes? I don't understand. Oh, because we would only actually be repairing 5 points is why. Can we maybe find... There we go, perfect. So we've got no more armor in storage, which is kind of a shame, but hopefully, being as it's Thursday, we'll have a chance to... Your explanation didn't help your argument. Yeah, understandably. And I want someone with full time to maybe do that. That's going to be Loney, who I believe has Edge. Just a few points of armor, just a few points of armor, and some SRM ammo, some armor, ammo. Okay, so we're not far from being combat ready again. Random guy, hey, how's it going? Cowpoke's up too. We're just doing some repairs left over from last week's pair of missions, and hopefully it goes quickly, and hopefully we're able to get into the next mission before too much longer. Now, interesting thing about this stalker that I was working on is that it's a 75-ton stalker, the 4P. If we go over here to the hangar, I've got these guys sorted by weight class under details. And you'll notice Stalker 4P is 75-ton Stalker. Sounds more fun than a barrel of armadillos. Uh, I can tell when I'm getting poked fun at. Let's go ahead and have our mechanics start tearing apart this SRM carrier. Actually, it'd be nice if everything was ×4 time like I wanted. We'll have Doodles doing armor. And we'll have Lori do some stabilizers. We'll have the regulars doing some SRMs. And this is actually going to be a several day job because there's just so many missiles to salvage. I'm just trying to speak Texan. You're really rich in this game. You're all hat and all cattle, as they say. Yeah, we're sitting on quite a sum of C-bills right now, 111,000. I'm thinking that we're saving up for dropship is I think the plan. So the Rifleman, the Champion, the Grand Dragon are going to remain inoperable for the time being, I think. Although, I mean, we could do some of this work on there. Replacing the torso and the leg is going to be veteran jobs. The cockpit on a 5, yeah, we'll go ahead and have George Valdez do that because he's low on XP. We can have Green Text doing some of these actuators. Oh, not what I meant to do. Me on a 4, yeah, that works for me. Wait, the Grand Dragon. Why do we have armor for the Grand Dragon, but not anyone else? It's not. It's standard armor, right? And I know it's silly of me, but I really want this Dig King up and running. We might have to reinstall this gyro. It should be a 2-ton gyro. Those aren't too hard to come by. Maybe we'll get super lucky and not break it. And also we need an industrial cockpit for it. We are actually missing 6 parts. We're missing an arresting hoist. We'll go ahead and order 2 of those for 50,000 C-bills. Upper arm actuators. I want to have 3 spares of that on hand. We've ordered armor. We're short on cockpits as well. Let's go ahead and order 3 of those. We've got 100 shots of SRM4 ammo on order. Let's go ahead and order an extra industrial cockpit. Heavy industrial armor, we need to order, I don't know, that many. And then SRM6 ammo we have on order already. We ordered, it looks like 5 lots of heavy industrial armor. Oh, we have unmaintained units, because of course we do. Man, our techs are getting spread perilously thin. Oh, that's right, I had unassigned all the crew from this mech. Extra maintenance time is set at ×4, so we can afford a regular tech working on that. We'll put Anacito Carafa in charge. Wolverine is also at ×4, so we can go with being a MegaMek should be enough that Halima can handle that. Trebuchet and the Dig King. We'll have Shasta there, and Maybe Veronica there. The SRM carrier will have that. Oh man, no one has any time. Maria Teresa, I guess, and we'll set that on ×2 since they're a regular. And that should be everything. And now, actually, we have the Stuka here that just arrived. We'll go ahead and assign our most advanced tech to it. And under personnel, who do we have? Aerospace pilot. We have an elite pilot with no fighter. So they get the Stuka. Sabra can do some stabilizers. That one SRM is going to take several days on its own. Let's see, so we did get 174 points of armor in, it looks like. That doesn't make any sense. That's not divisible by 16, is it? Yeah, because it would be 176. What happened to the other 2 points that we ordered? Alright, I know that was a lot of the armor that we were trying to reserve for other mechs, but we've got more on the way, so it'll be fine. Okay, this is the 3F Mark II Stalker. This is not the one that's only 75 tons. So, do we need a 2 on that? I don't think we need a 2 on that. Do we need a 5 on that? Yeah, we'll take a 5. And she gained another XP, getting closer. I cannot tell you how excited I am to have an elite tech finally, after all this time. Oh, I was looking at 10 available and thinking 10 minutes. Whoops. Okay, so we've got no armor whatsoever, and again, that's fine. Everything is fine. I know we don't need ones, but I was hoping to have a green tech besides Ratnabala do it. On a 3, even that seems excessive. Fred Modry might have some edge. I doubt it, but maybe. All right. Wait, did we actually fix that gyro on a 9? Let me go back and check. Right arm sensors, left arm gyro. On the Stalker, needs a 5, gets an 11. Okay. Left leg on the Trebuchet, fuel cell on the Dig King, gyro on the Dig King, needs a 9, gets an 11. Way to go, Kazuko. I really thought we were going to have to replace that gyro, but he fixed it. What do we have in the way of refits? We've got the Rifleman in a couple of days. Excuse me. We've got the Mackie in 20 some odd days, the Emperor in 20 some odd days, the Guillotine in like a couple of months, and the Atlas in like a month and a half. We failed to find one of the cockpits with snake eyes, but at least Burnt gained an XP for it. He's well on his way to being elite as well. Failed to salvage one of the SRM6s. That's not a big deal. We're gonna end up with several of those. And now we're into the stuff that we actively watched. Excuse you. That's one of the downsides of living on a busy street. So apologies to you guys. On a 3, yeah, we'll do that. And the left torso, I'll have Malika also on a 3, and that'll be done tomorrow, should be, unless she rolls snake eyes. That was a Texas moment, yeah. Wild hogs. It wasn't a motorcycle, that was a truck, from the sound of it. But yeah, that was certainly a Texas moment either way. Alright, all of our tank mechanics are busy. Yeah, you could be forgiven for thinking it was a motorcycle. It was just, you know, random loud engine. But I thought it sounded like a truck engine. I may be wrong. All I did was, I didn't see it, obviously. I was here talking to you guys. Hmm. These guys are gonna be... in out of action for quite some time. Right torso and left leg. We're waiting on veteran techs to work on those because we really don't have any right now. Alright, looks like everything's working that can be working. Moving on to Saturday. I think the motorcycle's big. Yeah, they do. Dump truck, big Tonka. No, it was probably, if I had to guess, the mental image that I have in my mind is a big lifted black Chevy or Ford truck with dual exhaust and rolling coal or whatever they call it. And the fact that I know that it's called rolling coal just marks me as a Texan, I feel like. So we fixed the armor on the Archer and the Long Tom. We failed to replace the left leg on the Stalker. 4P. Still working on the Rifleman, the Champion. We got the cockpit on the Grand Dragon. I've seen those trucks. It's painful right now with the gas prices. Yeah, I have coworkers who drive some big old trucks. Not even that big. Not even the big jacked up, you know, off-road tire trucks, but just, you know, larger full-size trucks. And yeah, they're hurting. In the future, only the richest of us will be able to drive those things. The funniest thing I had was going to look for a car for my daughter. We went to the Ford place and they said, oh, you need to go to another place. This Ford dealer is only pickup trucks. Well, as far as spending some money, sometimes I guess I don't know. I would say it's not the most economical choice for sure, but I mean, it's the choice that they made. It's not one that I support. I don't drive a big old truck, Texan or not. Alright, we'll have the Rifleman 4N finished tomorrow. We did find that cockpit on the second try, and Giovanna Alexander is racking up some XP. Was he not an elite? I thought we had an elite. Maybe it was just a veteran. I know what you support. You support nuclear reactors in your vehicles. Indeed. Fusion power for the win. All about that renewable resource. And I guess we'll have Doodles work on that. On a 4, he should knock that out in like 2 more days. Alright, the Rifleman, the Champion, and the Dig King are lower priority. The Grand Dragon is a lower priority. The Stalker is a higher priority. I want to get that thing fixed. And Chris is getting closer and closer to that elite status, which I am super excited for. I can't stress enough that I'm so ready to have an elite tech. Let's see, 75, that leaves 60. Did we have a 60 over here? We did not. We've got a 25 there. Got a 55 there. Yeah, we'll give her another coffee break. We'll do 55 minutes and call it a day for her. Loney can start on the right torso. I guess Tamalika can start on that leg. Stalker 4P. I mean, it's an interesting mech, to be sure, but is it one we're going to use? Does it have the quirk? That's actually an interesting question. A 75 tonner with the battle computer, or the it's a battle computer, right? Let me check. 75 tonners, Stalker 4P. It does have the combat computer, so that's an extra 4 heat sinks that it has. A 75 tonner. That's interesting. It doesn't have both LRM-10s, but it does have both large lasers, both SRM-6s, and all 4 mediums. That could be an interesting... It's not going to be as heavily armored, I'm sure. But, I mean, it's plenty heavily armored enough. It's got 35 points on the center torso. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get to working on this stuff. A 75-ton Stalker, that's something I hadn't really thoroughly considered before. Alright, are we about done for the day? We did the tank? Yeah, we did the tank. We've still got some armor available, but... Man, this Rifleman is a wreck. There's not much left of him. And I don't know if I want to go wasting armor on 6s. I mean, it seems to be working pretty well so far. Saving the little jobs for Chris. Do you like the Dallas Cowboys? Maybe we can do a Dallas Cowboys paint scheme on a mech. I actually have kind of mixed feelings about football teams because I was from Houston at the time that the Oilers played. So I'm kind of almost loyal to the Oilers, which later on became the Tennessee Titans. They were sold and renamed, but it was the same team. So I kind of have like a split loyalty between the Cowboys and the Titans. I don't know, I guess I have a complicated relationship with football. But at the same time, it's not a particularly close relationship that I have with football. Really, the only sports that I pay much attention to are going to be the motor sports. And really, honestly, just the F1 more than the NASCAR. I know. I'm a Texan who doesn't watch NASCAR. Although I could see doing a paint job on a mech that was all NASCAR inspired with like the I don't know, like the DuPont logo on the chest, real big or something. And moving into Sunday, fix the armor on the Stalker, fix the armor on the Stalker. Right torso on the Rifleman's going to be a while, left torso on the Champion's going to be a while. I believe DuPont was Jeff Gordon, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't watch a whole lot of NASCAR either. And honestly, I know I said that I'm trying to keep up with the F1 series this year, but I haven't been into it for that long, so I'm still not as familiar with who's on what team as I would like. It'd be cool to make your mechs look like race cars. Yeah, it would. It would be really cool. Okay, the Rifleman's gonna be another couple of weeks. Mackie and the Emperor both sitting around 20 days still. The Infirmary is still locked and loaded. Alright, the Stalker 4P. It's just missing a leg, really, at this point. Fred Modric, can we get a 7, please? And I guess Penny, can we get a 5? That'd be nice. Gonna hold off on those for right now and try to knock out these small jobs. Oh man. 120, 80 minutes left. How much XP can we earn with 80 minutes? Not that much, apparently. Alright, we'll go over with her this time. Could start off by installing a rear wing on Hoser's awesome. Yeah, give it that downforce for when it's tearing ass across the plains at a whopping, what, 55 kilometers an hour? Wouldn't even be 55 kilometers an hour, is it? Is it kilometers or is it miles an hour? I forget. I'm thinking it's 10.8 miles per hour per movement point. I may be wrong. It's been a while since I looked into TRO properly. Forgive me. Alright, we'll have a couple of regular techs, hoping to get some 8s, and if not, we can always order some more parts. Okay, those are both going to be just a little while. So let's see. All of our mechs should be in working condition. Yeah, I'm not seeing any red in the TO&E. Victor and Marco are both injured, apparently. Concussion and a sprained leg and a bruise on his arm. So Galatea Lance is out of action for, looks like, about 11 days. But we've still got Mariana and Tonga that can start going over here and trying to finish out these objectives. I think I want to take it a little bit easier this time than I had been last time. I don't want to jump into any missions without, you know, being able to plan for and prepare for the mission itself. So we're gonna have Galatea go there. Now how did that happen? First of all, I thought Galatea was in... Oh, Galatea is in a fight position. So, of course we're not going to explore anything, but hostile force detected on a hex that we'd already explored. I don't know if that's supposed to happen, or if I've run into another glitch. Prevent hostile reconnaissance happens on the 7th. That is today. Let's check out the OP4 and maybe send in some reinforcements. Oh, 6,000 points. That's one lance of tanks, one mixed lance of light mechs and tanks, and another lance of tanks. We've got some thumpers and a couple of long toms. We're deploying on the east, light urban town farming in the pitch black. No, I don't want to do pitch black. We've got 8 turns to destroy or route half of them, so I want clear line of sight as much as possible. That's our 1 reroll. Alright. I wasn't expecting to jump in. I specifically was trying to avoid jumping directly into a battle. But I guess it happened anyway. So we've got 3 NPCs and Marco in his Warhammer, since his Marauder got shelled to pieces last time we brought it out. I was getting bored watching Solaris 7. I mean, I don't know how or why. Solaris 7 seems like it would be the most exciting form of Battletech. But then again, I've never really played it. Alright, let's do this. We've lost initiative for round 1. Let's check out this map real quick. So we've got scattered woods and a little bit of buildings in the center. We've got some scattered roads. What kind of is this? Planted fields and rubble. We've got some scattered woods, some scattered water, some broken roads. I'll stick this up here for now. We're just straight up trying to destroy half of them in 8 turns. Want an AMS? That would be nice. Yeah, but what do we take off of your mech to get it? Is the question. Should be able to scoot right up into the town. Maybe get a good firing position in these woods in a couple of turns. No, it's gonna be a couple turns. That's not a straight shot. Not as straight a shot as I was hoping. But still. Alright, so we've got a tank over here, we've got a galleon. We'll have the Orion deploy here and scoop along down here and cover this area. Yeah, AMS would be nice on all of our mechs, but the question is, what do we sacrifice to make up for it? Armor? I don't know. Quick Draw being the fastest mech of the group can try to scoot this way, maybe jump over some buildings and flank them over here. And finally, the guillotine. Try and shoot this way. Oh, it looks like some of them are deploying up here. Do we... And those are hover tanks. There's too much woods up here. No matter where I go, I'm not going to have much of a line of sight up in this quadrant. So I'm going to go ahead and concentrate on this bottom section here. And we have 1 initiative going into round 1. one of our thumpers is staying silent for some reason. Okay. So their Panther advanced, their Vedette, and their Scorpion advanced. Let's go ahead and advance the Quick Draw. Might as well do it at a sprint, since we're not in range yet. The Orion. Maybe get some LRMs at extreme range. That's gonna be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for running. Yeah, we might as well sprint with Nairn as well. Yeah, we'll just have everyone sprint because we're on a time crunch. Thumper scatters off the board. Let's see, everyone sprinted. Alright, we've won initiative again. Weapons fire for Thumpers and mobile long toms will be landing again in one turn. So we continue to advance. We've got a shot on the Jenner, but he hasn't moved yet. Looks like the Warhammer is not going to be in position to make any shots this turn. Okay, we might have a shot on the Jenner this turn. Okay, the Galleon observed our off-board artillery, and if they had any artillery, they could potentially try to counter barrage us. Which Jenner is this? Is this a 7F? I believe that's the 7D with the stock with the SRMs. We've got 11s. We've got 11s with looks like everything except on the Vedette. I think we're gonna have 10s. There we go. Nope. We might as well take an 11 while we can. We'll take an 11 there as well. Oh, let me just... There. Get me a little more out of the way there. Alright. Berlone with no shots at all. And also he sprinted. Quick Draw with its large laser instead of an LRM gets a 12 on the Jenner. That's gonna be it. Alright, the Orion missing on 10s and 11s, the Panther missing on a 12, the Guillotine missing on an 11, the Dervish missing on 10s, the Quick Draw missing on a 12. Looks like no fires were started, no nothing, so totally ineffectual, a waste of ammo. We're not going to punch or kick the building. Going into round 3, and we've still done effectively no damage to them. And by effectively, I mean literally no damage to them. Okay, so let's close in on the Dervish, I guess, and the Panther. Actually, can we get... what kind of range can we get on the Panther? We can get short range with the LBX. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll get side shots at short range on this Vedette. Or, wait, the Saracen has... I'm thinking of a Saladin. Yeah, the Saracen is not much of a threat. Saladins are a threat. Saladins carry autocannon 20s. Haven't lost any ground at least. Yeah, that's true. But we are pretty grossly outnumbered. So we've got, what, around about 4 turns to take out half of them. Let's see, if he flips arms, he's got... yeah, he'd be able to shoot us no matter what we did. No matter which of those hexes we ran. If he flips arms. If not, he could shoot at the Guillotine or the Orion. I'm sure that's what he's planning on doing. Pegasus needs a 5, gets an 8 for flanking while turning. Artillery misses and scatters. Alright, Orion has several targets in front of him. We've got, looks like 8s and 9s on the Pegasus or the Galleon or either of the Scimitars. Let's start with the Pegasus, I think. Since it is the easier of the hovercraft to hit. On 9s and 8s. And then the LRM on the Dervish on a 10. On the Scorpion on a 10. The Panther on a 10 as well. Might as well go for the Panther, I think. The one that's gonna be the most vulnerable to an LRM 15. Let's see, we've got 9s on the Saracen, 9s on the Panther. Maybe we'll get lucky and immobilize it, make it an easy target for a kick. And then we've got 9s on the Vedette. For 4 heat. Ooh. You know what? We've got 8s. Yeah, we'll forego the secondary target modifier and go for just straight 8s. And then the quick draw on the Jenner with just about everything. Everything but the SRM? No, everything but 1 medium laser. And Berlone with 10s on the Panther. 10s and 12s. So we'll go ahead and take 3 of the 12s just to build up that 1 point of heat. A whole bunch of missing going on. The Pegasus landing an SRM-6 on the Orion. All 6 missiles hit, getting a crit on the right torso, but to no effect. Landing 6 more SRMs on the Orion. So that's a total of 24 damage on the Orion from the Pegasus. Panther hitting the Orion in the right leg. Would have been the head, but Edge rerolls that to the leg, leaving us with 20 armor there. And 3 SRMs. So that's 24, 30, 40. Yeah, that's going to be an additional. That's going to be an additional modifier on the piloting check. And the guillotine at the Vedette landing a large laser to the right side, medium laser to the right side, medium laser to the rear, immobilizing it. 3 SRMs to the front and right side and turret. The Jenner at the Orion landing a medium laser to the right leg and 4 SRMs to the right torso, head, and center torso, forcing a consciousness check. Vedette missing the Scimitar, landing an autocannon 5 on the Orion's left arm, critting on his upper arm actuator. And landing 4 SRMs as well to the arms and torso. Quick draw at the Jenner, landing 2 medium lasers to the leg and left arm, critting on his shoulder and the left torso. Galleon missing the Orion, the Saracen at the Orion, landing 3 SRMs to the right side. Right torso is down to 8 armor. The Dervish missing on 9s, the Warhammer, landing a PPC on the Panther's right torso, stripping it down to 0 armor. And the Orion needs a 7, gets a 7 because it took 60 plus points of damage this turn. So that hurts. That Orion is in a bad way already. We need an 8 to kick. We'll take that because we've got a piloting of 4. We're not going to kick the building. Kicked it to the left side, costing it half of its movement points. So the Saracen is going to be a lot less evasive from here on out. The Jenner is at 7 heat. The Dervish is at 3. Our Guillotine is at 4. And now I believe, yeah, we're pulling ahead, but at what cost? Yeah, the Orion sure did take a beating. The Orion by itself lost us 3% of our total BV just from that one round of action. However, we've got them down to 92%. So we are pulling ahead. Orion is definitely going to be backing up, trying to take some cover. Oh man, they are ganging up on him. Oh, where do we put the quick draw? Do we put it in medium laser range of the Galleon? Galleon's not... Oh, sorry, not what I meant to do. I was trying to scroll so I could see more of the stats on the Galleon. I see it's got 2 machine guns and a medium laser, but I want to say it has more than just that. Nope, it's just 2 machine guns and a medium laser. So he's not much of a threat, to be honest. The medium laser being the biggest part of that. We'll stop there. That gives us 5 hexes. That's evasive. We're going to be, I like that, facing better, and we're still 3 hexes from the Galleon. He's got eyes on both of these scimitars. Five, 5, and a 4, 6. I think the 4, 6 is going to be our target. That's, what number was that? 50, not 57. Yeah, we'll stay in these woods. Take some pot shots at these scimitars. Or maybe the Dervish if he's trying to get froggy. Alright, Pegasus side slips 1 hex into hex 2922. Jenner enters rubble and succeeds. Long Toms and Thumper dealing damage to terrain, but nothing useful. Alright. Wait, the Jenner is an easy target this turn? Yeah, we'll fire on the Jenner then. We're gonna go with the LB-10X firing regular cluster, or regular munitions. 6s and 10s. We've got an 8 on the Dervish. Or we should have a 7, I think, on the Panther. Yeah, we'll take the easiest shot we've got. We're definitely firing on the Saracen this turn, and then we're going to kick the Vidette. We're going to skip the large laser, because we are running pretty hot already, and everything is 4s. We're 1 heat under, which I don't like, but it is what it is. You came here to mess up this galleon, and likewise, your large laser is not heat efficient enough to make the cut this turn, even if it means letting a heat sink go to waste. We've got 6s and 8s on the Scimitar. We've got 1 6. We're gonna have 6 8s. And then maybe we've got 11s on the galleon. We'll take 2 of those just to build up 1 heat. Alright, the galleon missing the Warhammer on a 10, the Skulker missing the Orion on a 7, the Scimitar hitting the Warhammer in the left leg with an autocannon 5, the Orion on the Jenner. LB-10X on that left arm, already damaged, destroying the arm, transferring into the left torso, and critting on 2 of his jump jets. Medium laser to the right leg and left torso, leaving him with 1 structure. Small laser to the head, causing his first consciousness check, which he barely survives. The SRM-4 and the LRM-15 both miss. Pegasus at the Orion, landing a medium laser to the left leg. 5 SRMs to the right arm mainly. Carpathize, hey, how's it going? Things are going interestingly. Our mission, or this mission, I don't think actually should have even occurred because we were reconning in a square that we had already reconned and a mission popped up. And the mission is to prevent enemy recon, so we have to destroy at least half of them within 8 turns, and we're already on round 4, and there's still over 90% of them left. The first couple turns were mainly moving into engagement, but then our Orion took some serious beating, taking over 60 points of damage on that first turn of actual shooting. And here he is taking some more damage from this Pegasus, another 15 points worth of SRMs and medium lasers. That right arm is down to 6 armor. Panther on the guillotine, landing a PPC to the right leg, and 4 SRMs to the right torso and the legs. The Scorpion missing the guillotine returning fire at the Saracen, immobilizing it with a medium laser twice over, to the rear and the right side, and exploding it with the hit to the fuel tank. 5 SRMs, also exploding the LRM and SRM ammo. So yeah, there is nothing left of that Saracen. The Jenner at the Orion, landing medium lasers to the left and right torso, leaving us with 3 armor on that right torso. That's starting to be a little worrisome. More than a little. Because I think we carry ammo in that right torso, don't we? No, just the LBX, which is replaceable. So, I mean, we do have access to LB-10X technology. The Scimitar missing the Warhammer on 8s and 10s. And quick draw at the Galleon, landing only 3 SRMs to the front and left side, costing it half of its movement points. The Galleon firing medium laser and machine gun at the Orion, landing a machine gun to the left arm. Saracen landing 2 SRMs and 6 LRMs on the Orion to the center torso, right torso, left arm, and left torso. A Dervish missing on 7s. Berlone missing on a 6, but then landing 1, 2, 3 4 medium lasers To the left side, stunning the crew, and to the front, immobilizing it. And then landing a small laser on an 11 on the galleon to the front. The Orion does go down this turn, taking 8 to the right leg and blacking out. Oof. So that mech is going to be a heck of a target next turn. Jenner also needing a 5 and getting a 5. So the guillotine on the immobile vedette will kick on a 0. The quick draw will kick the Pegasus on a 7. Yeah, we'll take a 7. I'm not going to kick the building for no reason. The guillotine kicks the vedette in the rear, leaving it with 1 armor. Quick draw missing the Pegasus, but not falling down. Barely. We have lost initiative going into round 5. That Orion pilot is going to need a new mech. Hopefully not. Hopefully it survives the beating that it takes this turn. They're already down to 75% of their battle value. This is gonna be an interesting challenge. So we do have 3 of our mechs all in this area, so hopefully I can draw enough fire off of the Orion. Yeah, we'll even expose our back to these scimitars and that galleon, hoping to draw just to cover this field a little better. At a walk will be pretty accurate. Hopefully. We've got a scorpion there. Oh, the scimitar closing in for the kill. Where'd the scimitar go? Oh, right there. Do we even need to move? I think we can stand still. Let's target this panther, I think. Panther or the scimitar? I mean, they both have 4 SRMs on a main gun, but the Panther's main gun is a PPC versus the Scimitar's autocannon. Yeah, we'll target the Panther. He may be tougher, but... Well, hold on. Artillery landing in 0 turns, artillery landing in 1 turn. How close do we want to be to that artillery that's going off? I'm thinking further, if we can. So we're gonna go ahead and target the scimitar this turn and kick the vedette. The vedette actually hopefully is weak on the right side. Yeah, it's taking some damage on the right side. Pegasus needs a 5, gets a 9 for turning while flanking. Long Tom landing on the Panther for 15 to the left side. Long Tom landing on the Panther for 15 to the right torso rear and the left arm. Thumper landing on the Panther for 15 to the right leg and left torso rear. Panther took 40 plus damage and falls, needs a 9. Taking 4 to the left arm, critting on his hand. And needing a 9 to avoid damage, getting a 12. That Panther pilot's gonna need a new mech. Attacker is in no condition to fire weapons, so yes, the Orion is doing nothing this turn. The quick draw came over here to fire on the Scorpion, I thought. And we will on 6s. We're just going to go ahead and Alpha Strike, putting us at 4 heat there. Guillotine at the Scimitar on 7s. Putting us at 3 heat for the turn. The Warhammer on the Galleon, I guess, on 8s. Everything else is going to be 9 and up. Yeah, we'll take a couple of 8s. And we'll take a couple of 6s. Where is he weak? The right side, the rear. Okay, so we can target the rear on 6s. And we'll do that with 3 of them, building up 1 point of heat. Galleon at the Warhammer, landing a medium laser to the right arm. Skulker on the Orion, landing a medium laser to the right arm. Scimitar, landing an autocannon 5 on the Orion's left torso. Quick draw at the Scorpion, landing a large laser to the right side, costing it a movement point. Medium lasers to the rear and right side, costing it half of its movement points, leaving it with one structure on that right side. Hitting it with medium lasers to the turret and the front, and the SRM finally finishes the job with 2 damage to the right side. Pegasus landing a medium laser on the Orion's right torso, SRM 6s to the right leg and right torso, left leg, right arm, and center torso. Panther landing his PPC on the Orion's left arm, critting on a medium laser. Scorpion landing an autocannon 5 on the Orion's right arm, critting on the shoulder. Machine gun to the center torso. The Guillotine on the Scimitar, landing a medium laser to the front, medium laser to the left side, 2 of them, leaving it with 8 armor, and costing it 2 movement points. The Jenner landing 2 medium lasers on the Orion, center torso, left leg, and 3 SRMs to the right side, critting on the LBX and leaving the right arm with 4 structure. Vedette landing an autocannon 5 on the Orion's head, costing the pilot a point of damage. Yeah, the Orion pilot's gonna need a new ride after this. Warhammer landing a PPC on the Galleon's turret and the left side, causing the machine gun to malfunction. Medium lasers to the Vedette's left side and rear, destroying the engine and immobilizing it. Galleon landing a medium laser on the Orion's right arm, destroying it and transferring into the right torso, leaving it with 7 structure. The Dervish at the Orion landing a medium laser to the left torso for 4 armor remaining. 8 LRMs to the center torso and left leg. 8 LRMs to the right torso, right and center torso. But he's already prone, so at least he doesn't have to worry about getting knocked down. That LBX has now taken 4 crits by my count, and the right torso is down to 2 structure. Center torso is down to 5 armor. I repeat my prediction. Yeah, I'm starting to think you're right. Yeah, they really don't like that Orion. I'm going to kick the Vedette on a 0. The Guillotine kicks the Vedette to the right side and destroys it. The Jenner kicks the Orion in the right torso, destroying that, transferring into the center torso and leaving 0 armor. Quick Draw is at 4 heat, Guillotine is at 3 heat, their Jenner is at 6, their Panther is at 4, their Dervish is at 8. Pilot of the Orion needs a 7 to wake up and gets an 11, so at least she's not immobile anymore. We're down to 83% of our forces, they're down to 63% of theirs. We need to kill, 3 more units in the next 2 rounds. Thumper and Long Toms will land tomorrow, next turn. maybe they will land tomorrow, I don't know. Alright, the Orion, which has basically no armor left. Might be able to back tank for a bit, but definitely be better at back tanking than front tanking. We're going to try to get off the field. Do we want them on our left side? Yeah, I think we want them on our left side. There's definitely more of the left side remaining than the right. Alright, so we still need to kill 3 of them. I'm thinking the Galleon. I'm thinking the Guillotine's gonna go after the Galleon. I'm thinking the Quick Draw is gonna go after maybe the Panther. Ooh, that's a lot of artillery incoming. 1 turn, 0 turns, 1 turn. I don't think I want to be that close to the Panther. 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes, so that's 2 points of evasion. The Quick Draw, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is also 2 points of evasion. That gives us shots on the galleon and the dervish. Alright, the Orion successfully stands up. The Pegasus flanks and turns successfully. The Panther stands up. Or no, fails to stand up. Takes 4 to the left leg, needs a 7 to avoid damage, and then needs a 7, gets a 7 to stand up. The Panther takes 5 more to the right arm. Bunch of terrain taking a bunch of damage. Orion, I guess on the galleon. We're missing both of our medium lasers and the LBX, so we're down to a small laser and our missiles. So we'll take an 8, an 11, and a 6, I guess, on the galleon. Guillotine, we'll skip the large laser. We'll do all the mediums in the SRM. Six is on the Skulker. Yeah, we'll take those shots. We'll skip the large laser again. Put us at 1 heat. We're lone on the Jenner with the PPCs or the Scimitar. Let's try and kill this Scimitar. That'll get us our victory condition. If we can get 3 kills this turn. And it's an easier shot than the Jenner. Jenner, which, well, hold on. Would be shooting into the rear of the Jenner. Let's see, we'd be shooting into the rear of the Jenner, and he really can't take much punishment at all in that arc. On 8s, or we could go for the Scimitar on 7s. We'll take the easier shot, as we do. We'll build up to 5 heat. I don't like going up to 5 heat, but it is what it is. The crew of the Galleon repairs the malfunctioning machine gun. The Orion landing 3 SRMs on the Galleon's turret and right side. The Galleon missing a Warhammer. Skulker missing the Warhammer. Scimitar at the Guillotine landing an autocannon 5 to the right leg. SRMs to the right torso. Guillotine at the Galleon lands a medium laser to the turret. Medium laser to the right side, immobilizing it. Medium lasers to the front. 6 SRMs sparking off the fuel tank and getting our first kill of the turn. Pegasus landing 5 SRMs on the Guillotine's rear arc to the right and left torso rear, the right arm. Panther at the Guillotine landing a PPC to the center torso rear, SRMs to the left leg and right arm. Quick draw at the Skulker, medium laser to the front ×2, leaving it with 8 armor and costing it a driving skill check modifier. Medium laser to the left side, costing it another movement point and another +2 to its driving checks. 3 SRMs, costing it another movement point. The Jenner on the Guillotine, landing medium lasers to the right and left arm. Warhammer, missing on 7s, costing the Scimitar half of its movement points with a hit from the medium laser. Dervish on the Guillotine, landing 6 missiles to the left and center torso. Guillotine took 40 points of damage, needs a 7 to stay standing, gets an 8. Yeah, we might as well dodge, since we've got nothing better to do. And that is enough to cause the Jenner to miss their kick. It's not enough to make them fall down, however. We've got them down to 8 units. We need to make 2 more kills. They've got us down to 80% of our BV. We have 1 in initiative going into round 7. Thumper and Long Toms landing in 1 turn. Orion is going to go ahead and flee the field of battle. see, Berlone is going to go ahead and advance at his reduced speed because he is overheating. But he's going to be in medium laser and small laser range so he can keep cool with the PPCs. The guillotine is going to come up here and try to mess up this Pegasus and maybe the Panther. Jenner getting all aggressive on the guillotine. That gives us 5 hexes. That's evasive. Gives us a shot on the Skulker to the rear, which is actually where it's fairly strong right now. Or we could target this Panther from the left side. How badly damaged is his left side? Damaged, but not as badly as the right side, I wouldn't say. 510, not quite. I don't know, we might get lucky and leg him. There's the Dervish's rear, you might get an ammo explosion. Ooh. Yeah, medium laser to his rear would penetrate. He does carry ammo in both the left and right torsos. That's 2 piloting checks, and it's a run. Or we could get the Panther's rear. Yeah, we need a kill like in the next turn. I don't think we're gonna get lucky enough to get the ammo kill on the Dervish. If we jump, we're looking at a +3 to hit. He's got no target movement modifier, so we'd be looking at 3, 4, 5, 6s to hit. That's actually not bad. Yeah, we'll do that. Orion flees the battlefield in one piece. Long Toms damaging buildings and terrain. Alright, start with the quick draw into the back of the Dervish on 6s. Let's just unload everything. We'll go up to 7 heat, which is fine because this is basically the last round. The guillotine on the Galleon or the Panther? We're gonna go mediums on the Scimitar, smalls on the Jenner. It's gonna be a bunch of 6s and a bunch of 8s. A bunch of 7s on him, going up to 4 heat. Oh, I saw some icons change. The Galleon hitting the guillotine in the left torso with a medium laser. The Scimitar missing with the autocannon, landing 1 SRM to the center torso. Quick draw on the Dervish, getting the lucky crit on the right torso rear ammo bin. So that is the Dervish out of the action. Good call. Good call, McGorilla. Yeah, I probably would have targeted something else if you hadn't said anything, and I wouldn't have gotten the kill on this Dervish. So that was fortunate. Pegasus, landing a medium laser to the guillotine's left leg, costing us our last point of edge, and landing 9 SRMs, critting out a couple of heat sinks on the left torso. Panther missing the Warhammer, Jenner on the guillotine, critting on a heat sink on the right leg. SRM 4 also to the right leg, medium laser to the right torso rear, leaving us with 1 armor. Warhammer on the Scimitar, medium lasers to the left side turret, front, left side, immobilizing it. and turret. Small lasers on the generator to the left torso rear, center torso rear, nothing else. Dervish landing a medium laser on the quick draw's left leg. The guillotine landing a large laser on the Panther's left arm, destroying it and transferring into the left torso. Down to 7 structure there. Medium laser to the right arm, medium laser to the left leg, critting on a jump jet. 4 SRMs to the center torso, right leg, and left torso. Guillotine stays standing. Panther falls on its right torso rear, destroying it, blowing off its right arm, transferring into the center torso rear. Needs an 8 to avoid pilot damage. Needs a 3 to stay conscious. Gets a 5. The guillotine will kick the Pegasus on a 7. Quick draw will not step on the pilot. And Burlone will, I guess, punch the Jenner on 10s. Jenner kicks the guillotine in the right leg, critting the upper and lower leg and leaving it with 2 structure remaining. The guillotine missing his kick on the Pegasus. Warhammer missing his punches. Guillotine falls down, takes 7 damage to the left torso, leaving us with 3 armor remaining, needing a 7 to avoid damage and getting an 8. The guillotine and the quick draw both at 7 heat, the Jenner and the Panther at 7 and 13 respectively. We have picked up pilot Bob Storasund. Going into round 8, last round of the battle. We've got them... How do they still have 8 units? Didn't we kill 2 things this turn? They're down to 33% of their battle value, but they're still at 66% of their units. Long Toms and our Thumper artillery pieces will land next turn. Let me just check on this real quick. They still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. They've got the Galleon, the Pegasus, the Panther, the Skulker, the Jenner, and the Scimitar. I don't know what other 2 units they have, but I'm prepared to call this a victory. Malone will back up as far as he is able, try to get those PVCs back into play, or... Yeah, the Scimitar is going to get hit with some artillery this turn. And next turn, for what that's worth. Yeah, we'll go ahead and back up as far as we're able. Guillotine is down to a 1-2 movement profile with those busted actuators. So he's gonna be hurting. Quick draw can move into the back of the Panther, try to finish him off. Yeah, he's down to not much left. He's missing both arms and his right torso. Is it even worth trying to get up? What would we need? We would need a 7 to stand up, and there's a good chance we would destroy the leg if we fail. I think I'm gonna stay prone. Panther falls on its right arm, transferring into the right torso rear, transferring into the center torso rear. Takes his 2nd point of damage, needs a 5 to stay conscious, gets a 7, and then he does succeed getting up, getting a 9. Long Tom damaging the terrain, everything else scattering off the board. Guillotine on the Skulker, needing 6s. We'll go ahead and fire everything but the large. Quick draw into the back of the Panther, firing again everything but the large. And Burlone. Scimitar. Where's the Scimitar weakest? In the left side. We can target the left side and we can hit him on 3s. Standing up and blowing up isn't good. You can't jump from the ground? Yeah. Yeah, I know the guillotine isn't going to be able to jump from where he's at, and it'd take him his whole move at a run just to stand up, and there's a good chance that we'd fall back down, and with only 2 points of structure left in that leg, I don't feel like taking that chance. We've got 5s with the medium lasers on the left side. We're going to go ahead and take all of them. Actually, we can afford to fire one of the PPCs. Oh wait, not on the left side, on the front. We want that on the left side. It's going to be 1 PPC and 6 medium lasers for heat neutral. Alright, the galleon missed. The skulker hits the guillotine in the left torso, critting on another heatsink. The guillotine at the skulker, landing 5 points to the right side, immobilizing it. 5 more to the right side. SRMs all to the right side, destroying the skulker. So that is another kill for us. Pegasus on the Warhammer, landing medium laser to the right arm. 5 SRMs all to the right side. And then 3 more SRMs to the left arm, right torso, right leg. Quick draw on the Panther, transferring in, landing a medium laser, which transfers into the center torso rear, critting on the engine twice. And then following that up with 2 more medium lasers to the center torso rear, destroying the Panther. That's another kill. Let's see, the Jenner, landing medium laser on the quick draw's left torso, and 3 SRMs, critting his hand. The Warhammer on the Scimitar, landing medium laser, landing a PPC to the front, medium laser to the left side, destroying it. The Warhammer took 20 plus damage, stays standing. Alright, let's go ahead and call that victory. Victory. Because I'm pretty sure that leaves just, what, like 1 or 2 of them left? Yeah, the Jenner is at 8 heat. We always saved salvage. The guillotine got 4 kills, quick draw got 3 kills, Marco got 1 kill. Let's see. Did the Orion did not get any kills either. Yes, we did control the battlefield, considering that we routed them quite badly. Oh, the Orion, missing its right torso and right arm. The left arm also critical with the upper arm and the medium laser destroyed. We're going to need a new LB-10X in there. Guillotine took internal damage to the left torso and right leg, critting on both actuators. That's ouchy, yeah. Yeah, that leg is going to take a bit to fix. Quick draw, lost a hand actuator to a through armor critical, but other than that, it's just looks like a medium laser to the left torso, a couple points to the right arm, a little bit of damage to the legs. Warhammer taking, looks like 6 points to the right torso. Right arm took a bit of a beating, but other than that, pretty chill. Nairn taking 3 points of damage. What do we want to salvage? We've got a Scimitar, a Panther, a Scimitar, and a Skulker. I don't know that we want any of this, honestly. I'd almost rather just have the cash value for it. Did we capture anyone? We captured, looks like Nancy from the Scimitar, Luis from the Scimitar, Agnes from the Skulker. We picked someone up. Who did we pick up? Gary? No. Jordan? No. Selena? We picked up someone, and I don't see that name, any names that I recognize on the list. So I guess we will skip that. Let's see, I think the Scimitar, did they eject? No. What happened to the Scimitar? Was it artillery? It might have been artillery. The DV pilot? Let me check on that. Galleon, Jenner, Panther, Pegasus, Scimitar. Yeah, the Dervish pilot is not on the list. So, don't know what's up with that. Scarponi got 1 kill. Quick Draw got 1, 2, 3 kills. Guillotine got 4 kills. So, not bad, not bad. We forced withdrawal everyone but the Pegasus, the Jenner, and the Galleon. Finished that with a victory. Disconnected from the server. Okay. So, bruise, broken rib, and a laceration. Ouch. That's gonna be a bit of time. Yeah, 20 days Galatea Lance is gonna be out of action. And honestly, they should have stayed out of action. Yeah. I shouldn't even have them deployed. I don't even know what I was thinking. Change site to the transport bay, change site to the transport bay. Ditto. And ditto again. I'm just going to ignore that for a moment. We'll have Shasa begin on the left torso. His right leg is gonna be... Ooh, a 6. Even at maximum time for one of our best techs. That's gonna have to wait until tomorrow. So many heat sinks and actuators got busted up. And we don't even have all of these actuators. We're missing hand actuator. We'll order an extra one of those. We'll go ahead and order 4 of those and 4 of those. So we've got some heat sinks we need to replace. That should be regular jobs. Or... yeah, we can have regulars doing those at a rate of 2 per day. We'll save the little jobs for Chris so that we can hurry up and get her up to expert or elite. The quick draws, all minor jobs. Warhammer is all minor jobs. Alright, so since we didn't salvage anything, we don't have any text to assign. Going into Monday, we've gotten some armor and some SRM ammo. We got the left torso fixed on the guillotine. We got the left leg fixed on the stalker. Still working on the rifleman. Got the right arm on the rifleman. Did not get the left leg on the rifleman. We did get the left torso on the champion fixed, and the armor failed to replace the left leg on the Grand Dragon. Amelia failed to get, or is still working on the SRM-6 from the SRM carrier. Salvaged the engine out of the SRM carrier, replaced the lower leg on the guillotine. None of our refits are going to be done in the next few days. And a bunch of our parts are coming in. Good deal. Alright, Chris, with 3 XP to go, is just going to knock out all these little bitty jobs. And hopefully we can earn 3 XP real quick. Or maybe not. Oh, there we go. Misclicked. Alright, let's get this right torso put back in if we can. We've got Loney, can maybe get started on that. All we need is a 6. Medium laser can go to a regular. I will have B do that. For arm actuator, I guess Ratnabala can do that real quick. Shoyab can do the left arm since that's a 4. Stalker, we're not worried about. The guillotine is the other big one. Susan, Tamalika, yeah, Tamalika can do that on a 6, hopefully. If not, we're probably gonna end up replacing that right leg. 2 structure is not enough to enter combat in, I don't think. Alright, so waiting on parts, waiting on parts. Grand Dragon is low priority. The Orion, 90 minutes on this armor. Failed. Halima, can you do a little better? Please and thank you. Big Knock can do that one, and that one, and that one. I guess Kai can do that one. And we're about to need more armor again. Alright, so the rifleman is coming along-ish. Okay, just needs its legs and a right torso repaired. And the right torso is working. SRM carrier, just waiting on that. And just double check. Okay, so we've got some heat sinks we can work on here. I know I probably could have cut down on the time for some of those, but it's Monday. We don't have any battles coming up that I see. Speaking of which, we do Not Galatea. We want Mariana and Tonga. Oh. Allied Supply Depot is under attack. Supply Depot Allied, evacuate Allied facility. Primary forces committed. That's Mariana Lance. We've also detected a hostile force and a hostile industrial center. Contract objective, not a contract objective. Industrial center is good for support points if we can capture it, and I would very much like to capture it. But in the meantime, we've got, oh, a convoy attack. Convoy attack scheduled for today with no forces assigned. Or the supply depot allied evacuate with Mariana Lance. Allied evacuating units, a Spacehound prospector mech, a Copper security mech, a Rockhound prospector mech, and a Brunel dump truck autocannon. We've got some turrets. We have rather a lot of Op 4. Oh wow, how many lances is that? That is 1 lance of light mechs, 2 lances of light mechs, a tank lance, a mixed lance, and another tank lance. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lances of lights and tanks. How do you get the ATB campaign state tab? You have to, first of all, you have to, in between contracts, you have to enable this option. And that is under against the bot, and that is down here, StratCon campaign rules is how you enable the that tab. And like I said, if you enable it during a contract, it won't take effect until you start a new contract. Yeah, glad I could help. Meantime, we've got I don't even know what's going on with this mission. We've got no units assigned, there's no op 4. Map size is 0. Prevent 50% of the convoy units from crossing the far edge of the map. Convoy attack, that is... Okay, so this hex has the convoy attack mission on it, but we don't have any forces assigned to it. Do we need to assign Tonga Lance? Let's see what that does. Okay, now we've got Tonga Lance assigned, we've got Op 4 assigned, we've got the convoy assigned, and we are pretty badly, well, not pretty badly, but we are out BV'd. We've got Lance of Tanks, Lance of Mechs, Lance of Tanks, and Mechs. So that is quite the opposition on both of these battles. And I don't think I'm going to be able to finish either one, but do we go ahead and start the convoy battle? We only have to destroy half of the convoy units, or half of the escorts. Alright, well, hold on. Before we do, we've got 1 reroll, Light Fog, Dusk Dawn, Muddy Swamp. So that's going to slow down the convoy. I want to reroll the weather. We've got Daylight and a Light Fog. Alright, works for me. Wait, Blackjack should have quirks. What are the quirks of a Blackjack? I'm sure someone knows offhand. But that blackjack should have quirks. Bad reputation is the quirk it has. Let's go ahead and edit that. It's just the one quirk I know, but it's important to me that it be accurate. Save quirks for chassis. And we'll also go ahead and save quirks for the model as well. Okay, so we've got all of our people have edge, if nothing else. Let's see. Holzer has weathered, which is not going to affect because it is dawn dusk. I don't believe that counts as weather. All right. The crosscut, the Jabberwocky, the carbine, and the Pompier. And what is the map going to look like? That is quite the large map, and it's swampy. All right. Let's go ahead and start this Mamma Jamma. Team 2 has 1 initiative for deployment. That's fine. Oh, we've got some depth to this map here. Yeah, we've got quite a bit of terrain variation here, quite a lot of rough ground, quite a lot of swamp hexes. I kind of want to just perch the Stalker and the Awesome up on the high ground right here just to do interference. This is going to be kind of an interesting battle, I imagine. Doesn't look like my favorite terrain either. There's way too many places for people to hide as they're approaching. But we only had 1 reroll, and we used that to get rid of the fog. Let's see, this is Ash's Archer, which is the one with all the medium lasers and the hatchet. Hatchets, I should say. There's 2 of them. And the Cronus can be our forward scout. Alright, we've 1 initiative going into round 1. And we're moving slower because of the dawn dusk as well. Except for those of us with jump jets. You know what? It's time. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and don't bother me again with those. The thing is, you can only check that box once per install, in my experience. There might be a way to uncheck that box in the menu somewhere, but in my experience, once you check that box, there's no going back. Nothing happening for the first few rounds. We've got no eyes on anyone. You could sprint. Yeah, I was just coming to that conclusion. It's my own fault because I don't usually use sprinting rules, so like I'm just kind of go blind to the red hexes. Oh, we've got an industrial mech. We've got eyes on the carbine. We are not close enough, so we might as well keep sprinting. Oh, we've got eyes on the Jabberwocky as well. Outside of visual and sensor range. Outside of visual and sensor. Outside. Outside. And outside. Okay. So we do have eyes on 2 of our targets. If we can just kill those 2, we'll be good to go. Needs a oh, leaping. No, no, we do not leap. Not in the awesome. We will, I guess, sprint into that hex. I thought that was 2 elevations. It was 3. Oh, we've got the construction mech on 13s. I mean, it's not possible to hit, but at least we're able to target him. Outside range. Outside range. Attacker sprinted. Out of range. Alright, no one's building up any heat yet. We've 1 initiative going into round 6. Alright, maybe we'll get lucky and land a 12 shot on him. Maybe not. Okay, this is starting to look like a target-rich environment. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to stay that way up to the point where we call it a night. Alright, we've got 10s on the carbon construction mech. Still outside of visual range. Still outside of range. What if we range high-low? We've got 15s on the Jabberwocky, or 12s on the carbine. Might as well. Out of range. 12s on the Jabberwocky with the large laser. Alright, the Blackjack does land a large laser to the carbine's left torso, critting on his gyro twice, so that is effectively a kill. Carbine falls down, takes 3 to the right leg, needs a 11 to avoid damage, needs a 3 to stay conscious, needs a 5 to keep the engine running. All that from just one lucky laser hit. Yeah. And he falls on his lift hoist. So that's cool. We've lost initiative going into the next round. Alright. Yeah, he ejected. No surprise. And I'm seeing there's the crosscut. Maybe we... I know he's got partial cover, but you never know when you get a lucky hit that'll crit out their gyro. We've got 12s on the Spider, 13s on the Wasp. 12s on the Jabberwocky. 14s, 12s on the Crosscut. We'll do that for 2 heat. Fourteens, not good enough. 11, we've got a 9 on the Jabberwocky. 9s and 11s. Heck yeah. Start unloading some of this SRM ammo. Blackjack, another lucky hit with the large laser to the Crosscut's right torso, going internal. Dragon missing, Manticore missing, Cronus missing on 9s and 11s. Team Silent K bringing the heat. Indeed. Tsubasa in particular landing those large lasers on the long shot odds. We've lost initiative going into round 8. Start with Hoser. We're going this way. I'm not too worried. Oh, Shadowhawk jumps into bogged down terrain and gets stuck. I'm not too worried about the Cronus getting overwhelmed by the Spider and the Wasp and everything, because the Stiletto is basically designed for light mech hunting with the medium lasers and the SRMs. Oh, I forgot Ash had jump jets. I didn't see us lose any BV either. And if you're gonna get some grub, good luck. I appreciate that. But I think this is about where I'm gonna be saving it because we are 2 minutes into the episode. We're gonna call this one Convoy 2. So, this concludes your regularly scheduled broadcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, subscribe. Hoes are once better LOS. Indeed. That is the downside to running an awesome, is the complete and utter lack of speeds. No game tomorrow night. That is correct. I do have work to do. Carpathice, thank you for joining us. Have a great night, you guys, as well. Cheers, and we will catch you next week for some more MegaMek. Thank you for joining me.